Okay guys, I have a special one for you today. Multiple updated series. This is not going to be the only video on this series, it's going to be the first one. It's about one of the most entitled families you could ever imagine, guys. This one is crazy. Let's jump right into it. To start, I'm 46, female, married and have 3 kids. 10 years ago, we came into money, a lot of money. I worked hard in my specific field, which earns a lot. I've done some smart investments and they've paid off. I've been steadily adding to my bank account for these years. My husband considers this my money. We don't have a prenup, hence I will take it as it's mine. When the first payload came in, I did what my husband and I always discussed if we would have the money. Mortgage paid off. I bought a new car and I managed to buy a nice house in our favorite holiday destination. We rent this one to a very nice family for most of the year. We set up college funds for our children, each an equal amount which should be enough to pay for 5 years. If there's any money left from the fund, the children can use this as a down payment on their own house or apartment. When the money kept coming in, thanks to my investments and my work, I looked towards what could be done for my immediate family. My husband has 2 sisters. We have 5 nieces and nephews on his side from one of the sisters. My brother has 2 children as well. It was decided that all of the nieces and nephews would have college funds as well, for the same amount as my children under the same strict stipulations. I would get the information about the cost and make sure everything's paid. My eldest niece had already started college, so I paid the amount already paid to her parents to keep everything fair. She managed to finish within the 4 years and has some money left. I had an accountant, which is my dear friend, find out what would be beneficial to my brother and one of the sister-in-laws regarding to their mortgage. I paid off the majority of both of them. My parents were then sent on a very nice trip, since their house is already paid off, and for both my in-laws and other sister-in-law, I paid their rent, so I paid a certain amount so they can save that money. Part of the money goes to charity at home and abroad. I also set up some college funds for the children of our closest friends and family members. As a treat, hubby, little one, and I went on a paid-by-us/me vacation with both my extended family and his. Now, at this point, everyone's grateful. However, one of the sister-in-laws always has a need to be in the spotlight, or that one of all of her children need to be. She's nice to my face, but I know for a fact that she's been bad-mouthing me. Makes passive-aggressive remarks about me and my work and my person, but always in such a manner that would be like an a-hole way, if you would say something. My usual tactic, and the one that works, is always to play innocent and dumb, and nitpick on what she says. I've managed to shut her up many times without being classified as a jerk. So the past few years, sister-in-law had been hinting that I should pay for a very nice all-inclusive resort holiday for her and her family abroad. You know, since I have the money. Side note, they have money saved that would initially been used for college funds of their children. Money that has barely been used. Well, COVID hit, and she has been silent. She and her husband took and still take it very seriously though. Now that the restrictions are mostly lifted, and she had a birthday party for her and her son, since her son really wanted the party. No biggie, we show up with a gift for her and her son and all is well. Birthday boy got a voucher to buy a tent or the camping gear he always wanted. Sister-in-law got a voucher to use whatever way she wanted. I added some sunscreen, drinks, and such as I knew she wanted to go on a holiday of some sorts. Or so we thought. She asked what our holiday plans are. We say that we won't be crossing any foreign borders, stay in home country, but we booked a cabin somewhere for a week. Very nice, not luxurious or anything. We would still need to cook and do the grocery shopping. Sister-in-law starts the, "Oh, how nice. We're still thinking about what we want to do." My lovely hubby and I are both having an inkling what she's hinting at, but we start spouting ideas in the hopes of avoiding tragedy. We have family at one place. Maybe they could stay there for a weekend or so. There's a campsite somewhere else with entertainment for children of various ages. Then it comes. She shows us something she found on the World Wide Web, and to be honest, it looks amazing. Not too luxurious, but still very nice. All-inclusive water park for the kids, spa center, the whole shebang. Price tag for a family of 7? $35,000. So hubby says that's a lot, but is glad they saved so much to do this. Sister-in-law then goes, "Oh, we don't. We thought you would be paying as my birthday gift." Say what? People, she just told us what she was looking at. No, scratch that. She expected me to give about $35,000 as a gift for her birthday just because I have the money? She goes on that I earn enough and their family, our godson, other nieces and nephews have been promised already and so forth. We all sat stunned in silence. Birthday boy and two of his sisters even looked up to see what we would say while playing with our little ones. Hubby just started laughing, thinking it was a joke. Father-in-law just sat there and looked on, and I did a seemingly very good impression of a fish. No, sister-in-law was dead serious. You have the money, you can just give it, you won't miss it. This woman has shown her disdain for me and my work many times in a very sweet passive-aggressive tone, so that it's hard to call her out on it. Me, hubby, and even her father still have done so. I just sat there and listened how she widened her eyes, trying to look sweet, something she does every time she wanted something, and give all the reasons why we should give the money without actually counting the voucher we gave her. I then regain my wits and just say the full sentence she did not want to hear. No. Then the conversation when it's followed, "But you have the money." Yeah, I have money, that's true. "So you can pay for it." I could indeed. "Oh, that's great." But I won't." But, we deserve it. You won't miss it. We're family." Yeah, we're indeed family. Fact, we all deserve a nice holiday after all the fluff show called COVID. False. I would surely miss it since it won't be in the bank account. Sister-in-law and brother-in-law continue to rant about how much they think I should pay for it. Listen. You've shown many times you don't not respect me or my line of work. You do not respect the fact that I worked very hard, made sacrifices to earn this money. You do not respect the fact that I've paid off your mortgage, paid for the college education of your children, and even some money for their own place. You badmouth me, call me names, and even told people hubby should divorce me. Sister-in-law's trying to deny it. Brother-in-law calls me a liar. Father-in-law joins in and sides with me. Her own children tell their father that they've heard their own mother say horrible things about me. Birthday boy even recorded one conversation she had with someone while she was making a TikTok video. He showed this, and brother-in-law went mute. Conversation continues with sister-in-law. "Fine, then don't pay for this holiday. The least you can do is pay for our plane tickets and let us stay at your holiday home, favorite little holiday destination." Remember, I rented out to a local family for most of the year due to COVID. They have to stay there as they can't and aren't going to travel. I say it's not happening. First of all, the family can't leave. Second, you don't get to make demands. The voucher you got has a very generous amount of money on it for you to use whatever way you please. Maybe towards a holiday. Third, we already went on a paid by us/me holiday, so you got a paid for holiday already. And fourth, if you want more money, then get a job that will pay more. You have a degree. Last, you treat me like crap and still expect me to just hand over my hard-earned money? Sister-in-law starts the waterworks and turns to her father, who completely sided with me. He told her he understood me. He told her he knew how hard I worked and the sacrifices me and husband made for this. Hubby is pissed. He sees red and tells his sister in no uncertain terms that this won't be happening and how dare they. He tells her that we're leaving, we pack up the kids and we go. Later, we get a call. Mother-in-law has FM tendencies, as their sister-in-law's her favorite. She tried the whole spiel on how hard they had it before I came into money and helped them, etc. Hubby dealt with her perfectly, and she understood after a lengthy conversation. Now, here's where I just laugh. Apparently, sister-in-law's kids are mad that she pulled this stunt and went full rebel mode. We have a great relationship and seemed afraid that this would influence it. They managed to come by and we had a heart-to-heart. I told them we didn't blame them for the actions of their parents. I explained to them the reasons for not handing out money like that after the initial gifts. The youngest seemed to side more with mom and dad, but the rest said they understand. They know about their generous college and home funds. I stated to them that we would not want for them to do anything against their parents as they still live there. They stayed for dinner and then went home. As of now, the kids are barely talking to their parents. They still do their chores, let them know things, but that's it. FM, in the form of other family members, came in as sister-in-law had sent the messages and called them. A simple Facebook post by Birthday Boy, with the video put a stop to that. Sister-in-law and brother-in-law had an enormous backlash by the FM, calling them out. They've been uninvited to certain events. We've received apologies from the FM. Some told me they had a hard time as they understood both her and me. The only thing that bothers me is the fact that my PIL are caught in the middle, especially my mother-in-law, who's very family-oriented. I know some of you might or will wonder why I just won't give them the money. Well, one of the reasons why is the way that she's treated me. Even before I came into money, another reason is that I simply feel uncomfortable just handing out money. I simply ask you to give your opinion in a kind fashion. Am I the a-hole for not paying? What's up guys, Mr. Reddito here. So this story has multiple parts. We're going to hop into part 2 now. The title is, You Paid for Them, You Pay for Us. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't done so, just so you don't miss any future updates on this story, because let me tell you right now, the sister-in-law's not done demanding. Let's see what's going on. Hey guys, I was the one whose sister-in-law demanded that I pay for a holiday. Here's part 2. So sister-in-law was very disappointed and angry that I did not bow down to her every whim, and paid for the holiday. For those who read my first post know that I'm well off, thanks to hard work and, well, some luck. We had some FMs, flying monkeys, come in because of my sister-in-law. Most backed down and underrated where we stood and left us alone. Unfortunately, the whole family of my dear husband now knows that we have a bank account with money on it. Our sister-in-law had called a lot of family members to complain and spill the beans. They began talking amongst themselves and their children. Some of the aunts, uncles, and cousins did not think it fair that I paid for some college funds for some children, or that I paid for a family holiday. To note, I only have college funds for the children of cousins who we have a close relationship with. That's about 6 cousins with around 12 kids. I'm in this family for almost 20 years, and I only see the majority of the aunts and uncles and cousins on the yearly, bi-yearly family reunion, if everybody comes. I haven't seen one of them in around 5 to 10 years. A couple of days after the fallout with sister-in-law, an aunt and uncle call, something they never do. I put my phone on speaker as I was busy with folding the laundry. They ask how everything's going, how we're holding up during the COVID and such. We exchange some experiences, and then they both go like this. This is the start of the convo. Uncle and aunt. They say, Listen, we hear you have some college funds set up for some of the children of certain cousins. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. Alright, is it true that you took mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law 1 and 2, and family with you on holiday? Yeah. Oh, you also have a holiday home, yes? We do, but why do you want or need to know this? We never knew you had so much money. Well, a lot of hard work, sacrifices, dedication, and luck were part of it. Aha! Well, you have to pay for our grandchildren's college fund as well. And when we want to go on a holiday with our children too, we deserve it. We're a family, so you have to. You have to pay me. Yes, we want college funds for your 6 grandchildren, each consisting of $800,000 for each child. We want a holiday home like yours, but in a different location. We already have one we want picked out. We'll send you the information, and that also goes for our family holiday. We're family, and since you have the money, you can pay for us too." I'm just sitting there, pissed off in silence. They continue to rant that they deserve it because they're family, and family takes care of each other. My hubby, meanwhile, had heard everything and was getting angrier. I pressed a record button halfway through the convo and asked them to repeat their demands. I eventually asked them if they had more to say, which they hadn't. I just flat out said that it wasn't going to happen, that they might think they're entitled to my money, but they weren't. I quoted the phrase they and many of my family gave us when hubby and I didn't have the money and were in a tight spot because we had a health scare. We asked every family member if we could borrow some money and we could pay it back. Only 3 of the 9 aunts and uncles helped us, and we paid them back. The quote, "It's your responsibility to have and earn enough money for the care, well-being, and education of your family. If you can't, then you don't deserve them. We won't be giving any money." Stunned silence on their side, I told them to relay the message to the rest and not call us with such demands. And I hung up the phone. Hubby was proud of me. In the weeks that followed, the same other aunts, uncles, and cousins called with the same, only those aunts and uncles who helped us in our time of need called and told us to say that it's our money and they've seen plenty of it and don't ask for more. One cousin called and asked for a certified loan for a down payment on a house, something I agreed to. They had the majority saved but came short of $1,000. They had to pay for it sooner as they could get the house sooner. Just now I saw that I received the first half of it. That also raised hell. Then with the aunts, uncles, and cousins, we had a Zoom call, and I explained to them my reasons for not doing this. I told them that they could always come when they truly needed financial help, but under legal contract so that neither party would feel themselves screwed over. Cousin, who borrowed money, even showed the certified notarized loan. Most seemed to understand, not entirely happy, but they knew they could come for help, but for some it wasn't enough. Then came the cherry on the top. I came home last week on a weekday to find a lot of parked cars in an otherwise almost empty street. I had to pass my house in order to park somewhere else, and around 15 to 20 of aunts, uncles, and cousins had gathered in the front yard. So much for social distancing. Afterwards, it were 3 aunts, 3 uncles, and some cousins and their spouses. I parked the car and walked back home. Now, here's something that a few people know. I have security cameras around my home and record sound as well. Another thing that a few people know, don't mess with me. I'm told that my right hook is very painful, so while walking back, I called the non-emergency line of our local police station. I told them of the situation and telling them that crap might hit the fan. If they could come and assist in case it got out of hand, that would be great. They would send some cops and, well, crap did hit the fan. The moment I stepped inside of people, they started screaming, cursing, telling me to pay up or they'll make sure that I'll pay one way or the other, all the while cornering me. Some of them poked their fingers close to my face and in my chest and arm. I told them multiple times to stop what they were doing and leave. Sometime through this, more cops were called by some neighbors as well, and when they arrived, were trying to get to me. The one uncle made a mistake. He slapped me. A man about 6 foot slapped me, a woman of just 5'2" across the face in full view of the police. The crowd went silent as he put his face almost in my face and went on a rant that I had to obey him as one of the elders of the family, all while still having his hand raised as he would slap me again. He couldn't continue his rant. I knocked him to the ground. He stayed down, not unconscious but quite rattled and stunned that I punched him. This was apparently what the cops needed as well. The family members were stunned at the cops who managed for them to get away from me. They were pissed. A couple of aunts, uncles, and cousins managed to make a run to their car and drive away. The rest got met with some very angry cops, some fines for breaking social distancing rules, and the expectation that charges might be pressed against them. So, to shorten the novel already, I'm fine. Had some bruised fingers, Uncle had a broken cheekbone if my lovely cameras are now in the hands of the DA. The other family members have distanced themselves from the crap that's happened. To be honest, I feel really crappy. I feel like dividing a family because I don't hand out my money. Hubby says that this is money that I worked hard for, so I get to decide what happens. Still, I'm thinking of setting some college funds aside for the rest of the children. Though, I'm doubting that. It would also seem that I don't stand my ground and can be persuaded with violence. Threats and harassment, I'm so sick of it. What's up guys, Mr. Reddito, and I'm telling you, this story just gets more crazy every sentence. I'm about to read to you now part 3, I hope you're enjoying. If you are, smash that subscribe button and consider dropping a like on the video. I present you part 3. Hey guys, I find it hard to answer all. I still wanted to thank you for the comments and opinions. I'll try to cover everything. I know some people think that this is fake. That's okay, I wish it was. What I want to start with is that this behavior is out of character. This is my hubby's family, and they have always been hardworking themselves. Saved money and family-oriented. They did/do not all have jobs that have earned a lot. Them not loaning money when we needed is because they didn't like loaning money. They were afraid not getting it back as they also needed it. However, the comment that made them hurt. We talked about it at the time, they understood it, and then apologized. Also, hubby and I have strong feelings that blabbermouth sister-in-law has said some things to them for them to go nuts. At the moment, this is just a hunch. We'll see when the time tells us. So for them to pounce on me like this is not normal behavior for them. That doesn't change a thing, though. Since the incident, I've talked to cousins, aunts, and uncles. On advice of my lawyer, I sent an email that I do not want to be contacted by them at this point, as the visitors might face a lawsuit, as does little love tap uncle. I gave them contact information of lawyer if they wish to see or need to speak. I asked them to respect this. I also advised the visitors of little love tap uncle to find a legal advice due to the circumstances. As of now, they respect this, as we have not received calls, texts, and emails. Only one cousin's in contact with hubby. This is the cousin who has the certified loan, and thus we need to be in contact with each other. He told hubby that the visitors and little love tap uncle are very ashamed of themselves, and realize they fluffed up enormously. He's heard some talk about the mediation. Little love tap uncle even cried in front of him. A man who never cries. It seems genuine, but I am cautious. I've read the responses, and I just don't feel guilty anymore. I'm a person who helps when needed, always have. Even when we did not have a lot of money, people were always welcoming to stay for dinner and a night or two to get back on their feet. I've always felt lucky and blessed that I have a roof over my head, 3 square meals a day, and clothes on my back. Hubby and I discussed that we won't be offering any kind of funds for the family members, their grandchildren or children. However, we are open to certified loans like cousin has, but have decided that we won't be sharing this view for now. I'm not going to punish people for the actions of their parents and grandparents. Some people said that I should move and change my number. No, I won't do that. I'm not going to move because of what happened. We live in a safe neighborhood with neighbors who take care of each other. Also, as of now, this is an isolated incident. I did block them on my phone and social media. My number is known to many official authorities, and again, as this is an isolated incident for the time being, I won't. Hubby chose not to block them, and any contact to them has been through him. In case they want to message him and they say things that could be used in court, he wants to keep tabs on them for as far as that is possible. I'm okay with this. All the correspondence have been saved. Lawyer and I have a Zoom call planned for next week. I've let him know what cousin said. He also hopes to have heard something from the DA then. He said that mediation is an option and would not be surprised if the DA would look into this, and if the visitors and little love tap uncle are open for this idea. There might still be legal consequences for them. He has some ideas, but it also depends on the DA and what the visitors and LLTU, little love tap uncle, pleaded. Lawyer did tell me, though, that he had some time to read some of the statements and view parts of the footage. Up until now, their stories are consistent with the footage he's seen. At this point, I want their actions recorded somewhere and have consequences for them. You do not get to threaten me, possibly threaten my family, and harm me without getting your behind kicked at least once. Let them be scared crapless at this point. I could care less because you know what? I'm done. The footage is in the hands of the DA and my lawyer. Also, a neighbor has also recorded what happened, and that's also in the hands of the DA and my lawyer. Neighbor also gave a statement. I've seen the footage saved in other places. You never know, so I saved it literally everywhere I could think to store it. Neighbors know what happened. I sent them flowers and an apology for the disturbance. They do appreciate the gesture. Neighbors are not afraid, thankfully, and have promised to keep an eye on things. I'm telling you guys, my neighbors are really angels. I don't consider myself a hero. I just try to be a decent human being. I don't flaunt the fact we have more money. We live in a normal home, in a normal street. We don't wear expensive clothing or heck, even name brands hardly. The car I bought 10 years ago was brand new then, and the baby's still purring strong. It has some dents and scratches on it, but hey, the baby works. I'm not going to buy a new car if this one's still working perfectly fine just because the paint has a little bit of scratches on it. Simple wear and tear. Same goes for my husband's car. Kids have their own chores and get pocket money, but if they want something extra, they can do extra chores for some extra spending money. They also have to save part of their pocket money. We just want to teach them the value of money. The oldest children already realize that we have filled a bank account, but has also seen what it's cost. The kids want a Switch, which is a gaming system at the moment, so they're saving as much money as they can so they can get that for now. And we'll pay for a certain amount and the rest they have to get themselves. So, we just try to be an average family. I hope I've covered all the comments and questions. If I update again, you will be the first to hear about it. Thanks again for listening. Okay guys, so this was a wild first part. Remember, part 2 of this saga is coming out tomorrow, so if you're not subscribed, make sure to do that now with the bell notifications on so you don't miss the upload. I could not believe the simple entitlement of these people. Like, who in the world just expects to get a $35,000 vacation? Like, where are they going? Are they the first one to go to Mars? I don't know, this is crazy, guys. Drop your thoughts down below, let me know what you would do if you were in OP's position. And don't forget, once again, part 2 is coming out tomorrow, and it gets even crazier. I can't wait to see you then, guys. Smash that like button, subscribe, have a wonderful day, and remember, it's cool to be kind.